And at last, our final video for section P7, we're going to look at solving radical equations, which you'll notice we did a bunch of quadratic stuff in a row. We're now changing gears, looking at radical equations. So, the methods for solving radical equations. First step is going to be to get the radical alone. This is kind of similar to what we did with absolute values. First step was to isolate the absolute values. So right now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to isolate the radical. So we get rid of that 3 by subtracting 3 from each side. And I've got the square root of x plus 3 equals x minus 3. Now I've got the square root alone on this side. The next step, well, I'm going to get rid of that square root by squaring both sides. So to square both sides, I square the left, and I square the right. Well, over here, the squared is going to undo the square root on that side, leaving me just with x plus 3. However, on this side, I'm actually squaring a binomial. No, it is not x squared minus 3 squared. You cannot do that. To square binomial, you actually need to do x minus 3 times x minus 3, and you can see that we will have to FOIL there to get that result on the right. So, on the right, x times x, minus 3x, and another minus 3x is minus 6x, and minus 3 times minus 3 is positive 9. So now, my equation, you can see, doesn't have any square roots anymore. Oh, but look at that. It is a quadratic. Luckily, we just spent a lot of time going over all the methods for solving quadratics. All of them involve getting everything over to one side. So I'm going to subtract x and subtract 3. And over here I get x squared. Over here I subtracted x. Minus 6x minus 1 more is minus 7x. And then I subtracted 3 from each side, so 9 minus 3 gives me a plus 6. And now I've got a quadratic set equal to 0. So now I'm going to solve this using one of my fabulous methods we just reviewed. And hey, look at that! I'm going to check to see if it's factorable, because that's always what you should do first. And that's a 6 times 1 to get 6. And if they're both negative, negative 1 times negative 6 is 6. Negative 1x, negative 6x is negative 7x. So there you go. It factors into x minus 1 and x minus 6. And from that we get our two answers. I said x minus 1 equal to 0, and I said x minus 6 equal to 0. And I get x equals 1. And x equals 6. Oh, wait a second. Look, it looks like there's another step here. I don't think there's anything I forgot to do. Oh my gosh, look at that! I have to check my answers. Probably should have been doing this for that example. But let's make sure we do it for this one. Here we go. The original equation, square root of x plus 3 equals x. Square root of x plus 3 equals x. So, I'm going to plug in a 6. I get the square root of 6 plus 3 equals 6. And let's check to make sure that is actually true. Well, 6 plus 3 is 9, so I get the square root of 9 plus 3 equals 6. And then square root of 9 is 3, so I get 3 plus 3 equals 6. And does 3 plus 3 equal 6? Why, yes, indeed it does. So x equals 6 does indeed work. Now I'm going to plug in my other answer, a 1. Square root of 1 plus 3 equals, again, I'm plugging in a 1 for x. So here we go. 1 plus 3 will give me 4. Square root of 4 plus 3 equals 1. And the square root of 4 is 2. So I get 2 plus 3 equals 1. And of course 2 plus 3 equal, wait a second. Nope. It so does not equal 1. That is because x equals 1 is actually not an answer. But why did the math give us that as an answer? Well, it comes from a step we did earlier. When we squared both sides, we actually added in an extra answer. Because there are two different things that square to give you like a 6, right? It could be positive or negative. So in that step, we actually added in an extra answer, and the only way to find out if we did that is to check our answers when we're done. you must check your answers when solving radical equations. Whenever you square both sides of an equation, you might be adding extra answers, so make sure you check. So there you go. That is solving radical equations, and that's it for section P7. Way to go.